Pod people.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of What Fresh Hell Is This? Today we are going to be talking to my good friend Danesh about doxing, swatting. Have you ever thought about starting a cult? We got great tips to get you started. And hello to the FBI, who is certainly listening to this episode. Let's go!
Ugh, Christ. What fresh hell is this?
Hello, and welcome to What Fresh Hell Is This with me, Stanzi Potenza. How you guys doing? I am just a mess. I have so much shit that I have to get done. I don't know what it is. I'm like, Ritalin, it's not working. I need more. I need something stronger because I am not getting any of the work done that I need to. She did up my psychiatrist did up my dose recently. And today I did complete like 3 tasks that really needed to get done, like severely, like really needed to get done. And I was very proud of myself for doing that. While we were trying to record this, get these podcasts sort of settled, I've been just putting everything off. They're like, hey, can you just give us people? We have to have people on the show. You need to tell us who. And I was just like, I don't know. I have so much things I need to get done. So like very last minute, as you know, is very on brand for me. I just like text like 3 of my friends, my like 2 internet friends, and then 1 like lifelong friend. Some of you might know who I'm hinting at if you're like an actual listener. If you're a real fan, you might know who I'm talking about. I'm just like, hey, you guys, you want to be on a podcast? And they're all like, yeah, sounds great. I'm like, cool, tomorrow? and like, I was expecting all of them to just be like, well, I have priorities, but like all of them were able to be like, within the next like few days record, which is just like, wow, true friendship, right? That's so beautiful. Men don't always suck, right? Every now and then they come through, and that's a beautiful thing. And one of those friends is my friend Danesh, who you might know as that Danesh guy on TikTok, Instagram. I think he's still banned on Twitter, unfortunately. He does amazing work. He takes down some of the most horrible people that you might see on the internet. And he's also been a victim of Dr. Phil. Victim of doxing and harassment as well. Not a super fun job. And he's also my favorite cult leader ever. And we're going to get into that later, I promise you. So welcome to the show, Danesh. Danesh, thank you for being on the show today. How are you?
My pleasure. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, like I'm excited too, but you're like, you know, you're out there, you know, changing lives, you know, saving people. You know, running cults and and destroying lives.
I play both sides, you know.
Yeah, saving and destroying lives.
Yeah. I thought
but I mean, when you think about it, the Avengers did the same thing.
They did. I mean, I need to create work, right? I need to.
Yeah, there are people that like died in like the rubble and the explosions, but like they caught the bad guy.
Which is similar. They say, Danesh, we just want the name of this person. And I go, okay, the city's going to be destroyed. And they go, we don't. You're the bad
just
guy.
the name. So can you tell the worsties kind of like what it is that you do online? Because you are a very specific type of influencer.
My platform is strange. It's different. Yeah, I identify people in viral videos that have like, you know, harmed other people, like whether it's an assault or recently there was a hit and run where I identified the guy who did it. And I'm strangely good at finding the people in the videos. And I don't even have a cool origin stories to like how I got good at this or what I did before this that made me good at No, nothing like that at all. I just, you know, I did comedy for a while and maybe the experience comes from desperately looking for work, so just online all the time looking for something. But I find people then in videos using very limited information.
It's almost like the way you describe it. It's like almost like when you're going through like a newspaper and like the like job openings and you're like circling things that interest you and you're like, oh, like, you know, getting terrible people arrested. Yeah, I could do that, as like a little side gig.
Yeah.
I mean, I have talked about Danesh on the show because I did a whole episode where I talked about getting doxxed.
Oh, yeah.
And and you were the person that like helped me the most throughout like that entire experience, way more helpful than the FBI and the police.
FBI doesn't care
really
at all.
Great.
That's the sad part. That's and it was because I had gone through that I know, and I had people come to me immediately and be like, "Hey, I know what you're going through. Let me help you out." And it was without them, I don't know how I would have gotten through it. So once I saw that you were dealing with that, I was like, "Oh, okay. Let me just I can't stop it from happening. Unfortunately, I can't stop someone from getting doxxed or getting stalked or something, but I could at least try to make you feel not so afraid of it by going like, this is they can't actually do this. This is how we could report this." But yeah, the FBI doesn't give a fuck. That's the hardest part.
I was like, great.
That's the hardest
Super
part.
awesome.
It's hard when we have our faces and names out there. Like there's no privacy. There's just no privacy. And then you try to explain that to the FBI. You're like, hey, they're putting all my information out there. And they just go, yeah, well, it's let us know when someone dies. Give us a call when you're dead, and we'll take care of it. What the fuck does the I stand for in FBI? Like, investigate. Do it.
Yeah, Federal Bureau of what? Do your job, man. The FBI definitely listens to this podcast because I say crazy things, and they're probably like, we have to keep an eye on this one. The thing that frustrates me is that because, now we're like in a new like day and age where like influencers and content creators exist and stuff, but with that comes like a whole new territory of like, kind of like criminal activity, like legal stickiness. And if you don't know exactly what swatting is, we have talked about it on podcasts because of my doxing thing, but swatting is when basically someone calls, the FBI or the police, or they send information saying that you are planning on committing like a huge act of violence. It could be like a shooting, or you plan to like murder other people. And then they give the FBI or the police your information and go here if you want to stop them. And that's what happened to me when yes, people have been killed by this because you get, you're minding your own business, and then all of a sudden, the FBI, police, SWAT teams, they're like at your front door, and normal people don't know how to handle a situation like that. So you're going to have people that are really anxious, and then they look like a threat, and then people, there's a chance that you get killed. People have woken up with like guns in their faces, of like police officers who barge into their homes because they think that you're a terrorist or that you're like a murderer. And so that happened to me, but not me. They were saying, active shooter at my mom's house. And so I was like, no. I was like, so I had to have her call the police, and then like I had to call the NYPD just in case, just to get ahead of it. And be like, yeah, so this is happening to me. But it's so silly to explain to anyone like, yeah, I'm on TikTok and I have like this person really hates me and is trying to murder me. And they're like, why is anyone trying to murder you? You're just you're probably just doing a little dance, right? I'm like, no, I'm a comedian. It's super silly.
Yeah. Every time anyone gets a threat on TikTok, they send it to me. Everyone on the app. So one thing I learned is everyone gets threats. It's horrible. Like every single person gets it. And I really wish there was that part of it would stop. Because like, too, like there's rarely anything you can do about it. The threats have to be so specific for the police to react to it. I only ever had one threat where the FBI actually was like, all right, we're going to follow up with it. But I never heard anything else about it.
Yeah.
After I was swatted, I had this strategy of like monetizing things that people do to me so they may stop doing it. For example, when I was accused of being in a cult, I made cult merchandise. And so that they're inadvertently promoting my merch.
That's amazing.
And so
That's amazing. I always tell people to monetize. People always say, ignore the haters. And I say, no. Monetize it. If you can, monetize the hatred you receive, right? Because making money off of other people trying to hurt you or like, I'm like, that's great. Because they're not going to want to contribute to that. They're going to be super bitter about it.
We will be right back.
Oh, hey there. Do you want beautiful hair with minimal effort? Kitsch feels the same way. They upgraded familiar products into game-changing essentials beauty enthusiasts swear by. From satin pillowcases to time-saving towels, Kitsch knows hair care doesn't stop in the shower. All right? Shampoo and conditioner bars. Yes, bars. Bottle-free beauty, baby. Kitsch believes you deserve little indulgences at affordable prices, morning, noon, and night. Kitsch is offering 30% off your entire order at mykitsch.com/Stanzi. That's right, 30% off anything and everything at mykitsch, spelled KITSCH.com/Stanzi. One more time for the people in the back, mykitsch.com/Stanzi for 30% off your order. Welcome back.
So I got swatted once.
Yes. Well, yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so in my line of work or in the stupid videos that I make, I piss off a lot of people, especially the people that are the subject of my video. They get really, really mad. And it's not just that like I catch them in the crime and I turn them in. I dig through their lives and I bring out every embarrassing detail I can find. and I just make it, a whole thing. Some of them turn into like a whole series because it's just so funny. Well, they get, more and more mad. So eventually someone went and sent a letter to everyone at city council and literally all the businesses around here that said, I'm going to go around apparently killing all the minorities in town. And in the manifesto, it says, even though I'm a minority too, I still just don't like minorities. And I think it was Christmas when, Christmas Eve. It was Christmas Eve, the morning of. So I wake up and then I'm about to get in the shower and I get a phone call and they say, hey, I don't know if it was the police or the FBI, to be honest. It was one of them. But they said, we got your email and your letters. And I was like, what email and letters? Like the one that you sent to town? I'm like, oh, I'm getting swatted, huh? And it was quiet. And he said, what do you mean? I'm like, did somebody send a manifesto saying that I'm going to kill minorities? Like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's not me. That's not me. Here's a police report number. So, sorry that happened. They go, can we just talk to you outside? I'm like, oh, sure. I was just going to take a shower. Let me know when you're here. Like, no, we're outside. I was like, oh, okay. I'll come outside then. No problem.
Okay.
And so I guess I didn't realize where in the swatting we actually were. I didn't realize we were in the like
the swatting phase of the swatting. Yeah.
So, yeah. Actually, I thought it was like hey, before we do that, just want to check. No, they were ready. So I don't take my shower. I go outside and it's a little cold, so I go, hey, I'm going to grab a jacket if that's okay. And then I hear him go, no problem. He's grabbing a jacket. I'm like, what? Why did you yell? Okay. So I go get my jacket. I'm like fumbling over it. And like the last thing he says while we're on the phone, he goes, just don't hang up with me. And my phone dies. I'm like, oh, fuck. It was the worst, like the worst thing ever happened. So I open the door and I step and I look outside. No one's there. No one at all. And I could see the road, there's cars passing by, but no police or anything. So I take one step outside, nothing happens. And the next step, all of a sudden, all these cars that were passing by were actually undercover cops. They all turn towards me. I see cars turn towards me like a minivan and stuff, and start driving onto my lawn. And I'm like, what? And then there was people behind the tree in my lawn, people around my house, all coming out, cops all coming out from every direction.
Worst flash mob ever. Damn.
Oh no, you didn't see the dance. It was beautiful. No. So they surround me.
Yeah, what song did they sing?
Something from Into the Woods. It was amazing.
Oh.
But so there's a picture of me that I took with the camera in my house, the surveillance camera. So I'm in the middle of the circle of cops, and the picture, it looks pretty badass. It's me in a trench coat, cops all around me, and in reality, I got my phone out. I'm going, hold on, let's see if it could turn back on. I got to show you guys a series of TikToks to know why this happened. And they're like, okay. And so I grabbed my portable charger from the car, plug it in, and I go, okay. So first you got to watch this TikTok. You got to watch this part. Okay. And then this, and it was the dumbest and lamest thing ever, where each cop, they're like watching the TikToks after a while, go, so a lot of people hate me, and this guy was making threats, blah, blah. So and here's the police report number for my friend who was swatted. Here's a video of her getting swatted. And so they kind of go, okay, we can tell that, this isn't real. They started to leave. And then they said, just, keep your phone on you. We're going to be talking to you a lot today. I said, sure. Okay. And so my immediate, I get back in the house and I'm like, I got such a rush because I was like, someone tried to fucking kill me. Someone tried to fucking kill me and failed. I feel so powerful from it. Because the thing is, I can't be swatted anymore. They're not going to fall for it again. There's a photo of me in between all the officers. And so I put that on a shirt. I just put it on a shirt and I sold it, swatted shirt. And then I went on, I was on Twitter and I posted that and advertised the shirt. But the photo of me between all the FBI agents, I wrote under it, these police have no jurisdiction in Danland, as a joke, right? As a joke. The FBI and the police do not think that's funny. Why would you be making jokes about something so serious? I'm like, fuck you, I'm the victim. I can make jokes about it if I want.
It is my right as an American to make jokes about my own trauma.
Yeah, I'm a content creator. I had something traumatic happen to me. I'm going to create content about it. What do you think I was going to do? And so they were like, all right, if you don't want us coming back, you need to explain to me what Danland means right now. I'm like, you want to explain that? And he's like, yeah. And so I was like, it's a joke. It's just not going to be funny, though, so it won't make sense to you. He's like, explain it. I'm like, some guy saw my username and said that Danesh guy. He thought it said that Danish guy. He thought Danish people are from Danland instead of Denmark. So he said, you're not from Danland, when he meant to say, you're not from Denmark. And I said, Danesh is a Persian name. I never claimed to be Danish. That's it. And he goes, well, that's not that funny. I'm like, because I had to explain it.
Because you had to explain it. You had to be there, man.
And arguably, it still is. But
I didn't know the origins of Danland, because if you don't know, Danland basically, so people think that Danesh is running a cult. I think it's funny, though, that people because it's not they're like, oh, this new cult. And I'm like, this isn't a cult. This is someone with a platform that's fairly large, and they have people who really like them.
That's the thing that they can't. That's the thing they can't fathom is I made a video about Danesh, and then now there's a random person in my comment section criticizing me. It must be a cult. It couldn't be that he's got millions of followers and maybe someone didn't like what they had to say. That's not a possibility.
So you've been accused of running a cult. The truth of Danland, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
If you were an actual cult leader, what would you require of your followers to stay in your good graces? Now, this could be rules, it could be dress codes, rituals, any aspect of this cult.
Well, what I would have in my cult, actually, I would adopt from what those people who have been accusing me of being in a cult have said. One of the things that they have accused me of, those people that say I'm in a cult, is that I have my followers go around, mass reporting any criticism of me. Any. They don't do that. I would love that. That would be great. That would be amazing. There's a bunch of ridiculous videos about me out there. I would love for them to all go around mass reporting it. Another thing is they added, those people that accuse me of being in a cult have added a new character to their jury of
the lore
weirdos.
They've added to the lore.
Yeah. And this one has brought a new angle to it that I definitely would adopt. So this person has watched a documentary on cults, and then they imagined that they were in this documentary, and that the documentary is fake, and that they were in the real cult, and it was led by me. And so and now it's evolved into a sex cult. So now It's getting fun. Yeah, well, now I'm like, okay.
Woo, now we get to be silly.
Now now it's getting more interesting. So we'll definitely take that too. Sex cult part sounds amazing. We're keeping that.
Yeah, we're definitely fucking in this cult. All right, everyone?
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely.
We are mass reporting and we are fucking.
Mass reporting and fucking. The only other things that I would make people do is things that I like. So it's mass reporting, fucking, and you can't eat anything except for Bulldog ramen and Diet Coke. That's it. That's what I want everyone to. I want everyone to only eat that, fuck, like crazy, all the time, and then mass report. If we could fucking mass report at the same time, like the whole cult, that would be incredible. But one thing I wouldn't do, one thing I would never in my life do, would be naming a fucking cult Danland. Of all fucking things it could be, Danland. That would be the last thing I would ever pick.
What would you name your cult? Do you have any, like, have you thought about it at all?
Denmark.
That's great. You heard it here. All right. I'm super into Denmark. I've been really getting into Denmark lately. And honestly, I think this cult, I think is gonna just like completely overshadow Jared Leto's cult. You know, Jim Jones has nothing on you. You're a real one. We'll see.
We don't do Kool-Aid. No, we're not going to do Kool-Aid. We'll do Crystal Light.
Coke.
Crystal Light.
Oh, okay,
we
Crystal Light.
Or like maybe how about an off-brand Crystal Light? We don't want to do brand name association, so we'll do like a Rite Aid Crystal Light brand.
I like that. Right. Yeah, that's nice. And it's like a more cost-effective option.
Sure, yeah. We could do generic
killing
cyanide.
everyone. Yeah.
Generic cyanide. We don't want to pay for the
I know a guy, so I can hook you up.
Yeah,
and I know the FBI's listening, so we're just being a little silly. We're just joking around, all right?
Yeah. Well, we're threatening ourselves, and they don't give a shit when we're threatened, so...
Yeah, they're going to be like, it doesn't seem like a real threat yet. We'll just wait till everyone's dead.
You kids and your threats.
Federal Bureau of Addressing the Aftermath. That was special. I love learning about new up-and-coming cults. That's the new trend forecasting, right? We have all, like, the fashion forecasting and, like, it's like I want to know about, like, the cults that are up-and-coming so I can, like, be ahead of the trends, right? I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it enlightened you on how to maybe protect yourself a little bit on the internet, because who knows? You might wake up tomorrow with the FBI in your face. And on that note, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week.